Argentina and Scotland this weekend, folks. Nations Championship. Both these sides relatively evenly ranked. Rank 5 against rank 7. They've got a pretty evenly split recent history, with Argentina winning 3 of the last 5, Scotland getting the other 2. So, pretty tasty looking match. It's an unfortunate one with some guys being out injured, like Malia's a long-term injury for the Argentinians. He's certainly one of their star players. He's not available. Juan Martín González is not there for the Argentinians. There's no Crema in this lineup. But for the Scots, Finn Russell's absence, you feel like will be the kind of most notable one, which will have most people questioning why he's not there. He is unfortunately still not back 100% fit just yet. And remember, they've also rested the likes of Kinghorn and Hugh Jones. But we'll go through the lineups which have been named, the predictions, some stats about each team's potential playing style, and you guys can let us know your thoughts on how it's going to go. For the Argentinians, it's a kind of relatively lightly looking propped team. Like Vivas, Delgado are the 2 starters, and Wenger and Rapetti are the replacements. So not a heck of a lot of caps there. Vivas is the most experienced of those guys. Montoya, though, is starting hooker, and he is an absolute legend of Argentinian rugby. At this point, he still captains the side, so he'll be leading from the front. Also, Matias Alemano, the big lock, he will be getting his 100th cap. So big congratulations to him. That is a massive achievement. He's alongside Guido Petti, so 2 locks that I feel like complement each other pretty well. The Argentinians often do that. They've got a big enforcer and a skills guy, and they seem to breed them pretty well, and they've got them very distinct roles. So that's what we see once again. Matera, Grondona, and Oviedo is a kind of changed back row from what we usually see. It's usually Matera, Crema, Juan Martín González, or some combination of at least 2 of the 3 guys. Who to only see Matera there is a little bit of a change from the norm, but they've always got a lot of good loose forwards in Argentina. So it's not really, I wouldn't say, like a big drop back. Obviously, Juan Martín González is one of my favorite players. It's unfortunate he's not there. Crema is such a big physical presence, but I don't think they will miss too much with their loose forwards being as changed as they are. Gonzalo Garcia, after a bit of an injury layoff last year for Argentina, is back as the starting 9, and Albanoz is there at 10. Certainly one of the more exciting 10s in world rugby, with his ability to both hit the line at pace, exploit the space in the backfield with his boot, and unlock the defenses with the ability to set up the guys around him. I'm also a really big fan of his. A bit of a changed midfield 12 is a I don't want to say it's a problem, but there's no Chocobares. He's just finished his top 14 season, so unavailable. And likewise, there is no Picardo. Same deal. Both of those guys were in the top 14 squads for the final match between Montpellier and Toulouse. So they have had to go with Valerolo at 12. He's got 1 cap, which I think was maybe from the bench against Uruguay. And he's coming up against, like if you're going directly head-to-head, Sione Tuipulotu, who is a veteran campaigner and the Scottish captain at this point. So a bit of a mismatch in that one position, but he's ahead of Moroni, who they could have put in as a starting midfielder, the veteran. So they must have faith in what he can do. Sinti is there. He's been a long time 13 under Contepomi, so no real surprise. And then Iskro, Mateo Carreras, and Santiago Carreras at the back 3. So kind of double playmakers, with Carreras, that's Santiago, who can play 10 or 15 or wing, being at fullback. And the footwork of Mateo Carreras is always something to see. 7's man Iskro with the pure pace, his ability to chase high balls, should be an interesting back 3 to watch, always very dangerous. Ruiz, Wegner, and Rapetti, like I mentioned, the front row replacements. Molina had a cracking season in Super Rugby. He will replace Petty, I would imagine, when he comes on. Joaquim Moro is the loose forward replacement. Augustin Mojano, Matias Moroni, the veteran, and Batista Delgui. So there's no 10 cover on the bench, but because you've got Santiago Carreras, he can cover literally, as I said, 10, both wings, fullback. So they should be sorted for that department. For the Scots, in the absence of Finn Russell, they have gone with Tom Jordan at 10. So very running-looking backline from the Scots. Like, you've not started George Horn. He's on the bench. Imagine if he was starting. This would be the ultimate running Scotland backline. But Ben White will likely take over the majority of the kicking for the Scots. They don't kick it that much compared to some of the other teams. So Ben White is at 9. He'll likely do the kicking. Tom Jordan is at 10. Remember, he is Mr. Versatile as well. He's kind of got the same role as Santi Carreras in the Argentinian squad, and that he can cover 10, 12, 15, whatever you want from to do. He will slot in. And then Sione Tuipulotu still captains alongside Hutchinson at 13. Scottish midfield is a lot more I feel like, stacked than some other countries around the world. The fact that, there's no Hugh Jones in the squad, that McDowell misses out, they've got a lot of good options. It doesn't look to take a step back when you got Hutchinson and Tuipulotu there. Hutchinson's ability to link up, I think, is going to be really vital in terms of his ability to help unlock the talent that is in the Scottish backline. With no Kinghorn, because he's being rested, you got Rowe at fullback, and interestingly, Jamie Dobie gets the call on the left wing. Like, he's usually Mr. Wing halfback replacement, but he's basically a specialist winger in this one because they've still got George Horn on the bench. They've got 3 halfbacks in the squad. Kyle Stain's still been going strong, had a great season for Glasgow, so pleased for him. But yeah, I feel like it's a really attacking, running-minded looking Scottish backfield. Schoeman, Ashman, and Miller Mills. Interesting to see Miller Mills is ahead of Xander. I haven't seen any interview with Gregor Townsend just yet, but that'll be good experience for him. Xander is on the bench, but yeah, it's usually Xander and Schoeman propping the scrum for days, but maybe he's going to bring on the props a bit earlier, because Gregor has been guilty, I think, of leaving the props a bit too late and relying a bit too much on Xander. Johnny Gray and Scott Cummings in the locks. Johnny Gray, I've already seen a little bit on social media getting a bit of flack, like, why are we playing this guy? He's a big unit, so maybe help out at scrum time a wee bit, because he's a big body. I thought they were going to save him for South Africa, but they're putting him in early. Matt Fagerson, Rory Darge, and Jack Dempsey, the back row. That's kind of, I feel like, relatively predictable. Darge with his tackles and turnovers is an absolutely easy choice for days. He's not the tallest back row, but yeah, they all do their kind of respective roles. Jack Dempsey with the big carries, Darge with the tackles and turnovers, and Matt Fagerson does a bit of everything. Hiddleston will get his debut from the bench, so big congrats to him, alongside Sullivan and Fagerson. Alex Samuel is there, Gregor Brown is there. I might like to see Gregor Brown starting, because I think he's got a bit of mongrel about him, and he can get turnovers and be a bit abrasive, but he is on the bench. Be interesting if he comes on for Matt Fagerson, or if he comes on elsewhere. I would imagine for Fagerson. George Horn, Fergus Burke, and Darcy Graham, the other 3 replacements. So 5-3 split for Gregor. He does like the 5-3 splits a bit more. Stats-wise, Argentina in 2025, because we haven't seen them play that this year, really good go-forward ball. It's been a great aspect of Felipe Contepomi's Argentina side, that they are really able to get the best out of the talent which they have in the team. I felt like the previous coaches, like Ledesma and Michael Cheika, seemed a little bit reluctant to kind of take the game more assertively. Contepomi's Argentina is not like that. They can absolutely get good go-forward ball. Very solid line-out. More possession and territory than in previous years. And probably the most likely team to take the 3 points compared to a lot of the other teams. They're less likely to necessarily opt for mauls. They like taking threes to keep the scoreboard ticking over. Maybe that's what you get for having a former fly half as your coach, but that's been an interesting tactic of theirs. They have been very inconsistent, though. Consistency, even within a game, like the last game they played against Scotland, where they had to come back from behind, was a very kind of inconsistent performance in itself. But Scotland are also the kind of kings of inconsistency, so which of each of these teams shows up will be fascinating. Scotland in the Six Nations, loads of carries. They got like loads of defenders beaten, not as many turnovers won, but great tackle percentage. The worst restart rate of all the teams. That's very frustrating. When you see Scotland do something magic, score a try, and immediately just drop the ball from the restart. They're so bad at it. They're really the worst Tier 1 team at just catching the ball from the restart. I hope this season they get better at that. It remains a bit of a thorn in their side, but if they can get that right, maybe opt for a little bit more contestable kicking. Can't believe I'm saying that, but maybe. Scotland will be in with a chance. For the recent history, it is, as I said, 3-2, and they're just exchanging results. 2022, Argentina won. Then the following game, Scotland won. And then the following game, Argentina won. And then the following game, Murrayfield, Scotland won. And then last year, Argentina won. So it's absolutely trading blows. The Scots actually average a bigger scoreline despite the negative record, 31-26, because they've tended to win by bigger margins when they did win in the last 5, like 52-29 and 29-6. The Argentinian games have been a bit closer when they've won. But the Argentinians are still favourites. With the bookies, it is 7 points. And with the Algo, that's a rugby forecast, it is 5 points. So this one looks to be a really tasty one on paper. Both sides are missing some key players. This is pretty evenly ranked. Georgian for the ref, Nico Amashukeli. Hopefully he has a good game. It is on at quarter bar, 4 o'clock kickoff. I think this one is a relatively reasonable hour for those of us here in NZ, but I'll have missed overnight games, so I'll likely watch them in order that they were played delayed, because the commentators always bloody drop spoilers, and I don't want to know like what was the result in South Africa, England before I watch the game. That's on me. I can control that. But anyway, you guys let us know your thoughts on this one. How do you reckon it's going to go? Argentina clear favourites, do you think? Or are the Scots a genuine chance? You guys take care, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.